Today we discuss about the Bohr atomic model or postulates. There are the four postulates, those are related with the Bohr atomic model. Let's one by one we discuss about those. As we know, in an atom there is a nucleus is present, and around nucleus electron is moving like the planets, those are moving around sun. Whenever electron is moving in a circular path, these circular paths are known as orbit or shell. These circular paths are known as orbit or shell. Whenever electron is moving in such kind of the circular paths, there are the two type of the force are acting on a electron. One force toward the nucleus, that is known as centripetal force or force of attraction, that is developed due to the charge present on nucleus and on electron. Second type of the force, that is known as the centrifugal force, that is away from the nucleus, that is developed due to the revolve of electron around nucleus. Let's one by one we discuss about those and conclude our first postulate of Bohr theory. First we discuss about the force of the attraction. As we know, according to the Newton's Coulomb's law of attraction, the force of attraction between the two charged particles is directly proportional to dot product of those. F is directly proportional to Q1 and Q2. Here we have the two charge. One is the electron, another one is the nucleus. Let the value of the Q1. The Q1, that is equals to charge on nucleus. The charge on the nucleus, that value is equals to Z. Z mean number of the protons those are present into multiplied by charge on one proton. The charge on proton, that is equals to charge on electron. So we can write this equation like this. The Q1 value is equals to ZE. Z mean number of the proton, and as we know, the number of the proton is equals to number of the electron in the atom. The charge of proton is equals to the charge on electron. So we can again rearrange this equation Zp as a Ze. Let the Q2, the value of the Q2, that is known as the charge on electron. The Q2 is equals to the charge on an electron that we consider, that's value is E. So our final equation that equals to F is directly proportional to ZE into E, or F directly proportional to ZE square. Again we know the distance between the nucleus and the electron, let that distance is R. The force of attraction is directly proportional to 1 upon R square. When we merge these two equations, we can write the final equation like this. F is directly proportional to ZE square by R square. F is directly proportional to ZE square by R square. When we eliminate this proportional sign, a constant came there. The F is equals to, when we eliminate this proportional sign or displace this proportional sign with equals to sign, a constant is came there. Let that constant value is K. F is equals to K ZE square by R square. The value of the K is equals to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton into meter square by Coulomb square. But as we know that in the chemistry we are dealing with the CGS units. In the CGS system, the value of K is 1 dyne into centimeter square per ESU square. ESU, that is the unit of charge, electrostatic unit. So there is no need to write the K here. So in the simple words, we can write F is equals to ZE square by R square. Let it is equation 1, or Fa. This is the force of attraction between electron and nucleus. The Fa is equals to Ze square by R square. Now we calculate the value of Fc, or centrifugal force. As we know, the centrifugal force is developed due to the revolve of electron around the nucleus, that value is equals to mv square by r. This one is the equation 2. A continuous movement of electron in same cell or orbit, it is necessary that both these forces are same in magnitude. Those are opposite to each other. So there is a game of tug of war is going there. Electron should move in this orbit. The magnitude of these two forces should be same or equal. So we can write this equation. Fa is equals to Fc, or your Ze square by R square is equals to mv square by r. 1 r is cancelled by 1 r. So our final equation is Ze square by r is equals to mv square. It is known as first postulate of Bohr theory. It is known as the first postulate of Bohr theory. Now we discuss about the second postulate of the Bohr theory. Electron that have some mass, let that mass is m. Electron is moving with constant speed, but there is change in velocity, because every time electron changing its direction when moving in a circular path. Speed is constant but velocity is not constant. So mass into velocity, that is known as momentum. When we multiply this momentum with the radius of that path, MVR is known as the angular momentum. Bohr say electron is revolve only in the orbits for those the angular momentum value is multiple integer of h upon 2 pi. So our second postulate say MVR is equals to nh upon 2 pi. Second postulate say that MVR is equals to nh upon 2 pi. This is the second postulate. Now the third postulate. In an atom, there are the various orbitals are present. Those orbitals are also known as the energy levels. These energy levels, maybe there is the one or maybe infinite energy levels are there. Whenever an electron is transferred from one energy level to another energy level, that electron absorb or emit some amount of the energy. That absorption or emission of amount of energy is given by the formula. That formula is known as the third postulate. Del E is equals to En2 minus En1. En2 mean energy of in higher energy level, and En1 mean energy of electron in lower energy level. So these are the values. Del E is equals to En2 minus En1. Whenever an electron is transferred from one cell to another cell, emit or absorb energy, the emission or absorption energy is not the continuous, that is happened in the small energy packets. Those small energy packets are known as the quanta. Those in small energy packets are known as the quanta. So energy of one quanta is given by this formula, that is the del E is equals to hc upon lambda. H mean Planck's constant, c mean velocity of light, and lambda mean wavelength. So these are the four postulates of Bohr theory. The first postulate is Ze square by r is equals to mv square. Second one is equals to mvr is equals to nh upon 2 pi. Next is that del E is equals to En2 minus En1, and fourth is that del E is equals to sc upon lambda. This equation for the if you have one photon. If we have n number of the photons, on that time we multiply this value by n. So these are the four postulates of Bohr theory. Thank you.